say the word family, what do you think of? What are the thoughts that come to mind? If I say the word, this is kind of just, let's just hear from you all.
Mom.
Okay. Anybody else? Family?
Children.
Children.
Life.
Somebody said mutuality. Life. Love.
Comfort.
Oh, wow.
Rest.
Rest. Security. Wow.
Support.
Yeah. Joy, support, tranquility. That's such a good list to start with, right? Did I miss anybody's? It's a pretty good list. Okay. What I'd like to impress you with is that all of these words that you ascribe to a family should be words that we ascribe to the church. And if there is a disconnect, then our experience of the church is limited. So, when we talk about the church being God's family, it's not a metaphor, it's not something like that. This really should be our experience. And in the church, we should have all of these things. And actually, I think we can go through and even just, if we have the time, we can go point by point by point and show you how in the New Testament, even verses, all of these things are covered. But the church is God's family, meaning there is a life relationship. And so here's another question I have for you. And I'll be transparent. It's a little bit of a trick question. How do you join the church? How do you join the church? Actually, how about you ask your neighbor, how do you join the church? Let's see what.
We just are the church. Yeah, they now you sign like a waiver.
Okay, so I don't know what you talked about. Anybody want to venture an answer? It's a tough question, right? Because you might think, oh well, you sign. Okay, Mario.
Born into it.
Born into it. Okay. Yeah. That's the right answer. Which also means you really can't join it. It's like an ear deciding I'm going to join the body. It's almost an impossibility. Now, in human society, there are things that you join. I was at a work function this past week, and the guy sitting next to me was talking about joining a golf club, and he had to pay well into 6 figures, get letters of recommendation, go to all these charities, so he could join a golf club. Now, some people, if you want to join a fraternity, you have to go and get rushed and picked or something. And you may think, well, at church, at least I have to sign up a form or something and join. A membership card, a letter of recommendation. That's not how you join the church, because the church is a family. And the relationship that we have with the church is one of life. Amen. Absolutely not organizational. It's entirely of life. Wow. So let's read this next. We're going to skip Hebrews 3:6 for the sake of time. Let's read John 1:12 through 13. All together. Ready? Go.
But as many as received him, to them he gave the authority to become children of God, to those who believe into his name, who were begotten not of blood,
verse is very crucial. It's as many as received him. What? To them he gave authority. And everybody who receives him, as many, there's no limit. On the one hand, this is an exclusive society. On the other hand, it is the most inclusive. As many as received him, to them he gave the authority, what? To become children of God. To become children of God, begotten not of blood, nor of the will of the Father, nor of flesh, nor of the will of man, but begotten of God. Amen. Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters. We are begotten of God. Amen. This is the sole requirement to be part of the church, to be part of God's family. It's not about going to a meeting. It's not about joining an organization, but it is about receiving God. Amen. And therefore, you become a member of God's family. And then when you're a part of God's family, then all of a sudden, all of these things are here. I love the next verse, Romans 8:15. Let's read that all together. For you have not received a spirit of slavery, bringing you into fear again, but you have received a spirit of sonship, in which we cry, Abba, Father. Now, Abba, Father really means daddy. It may seem sacrilegious to you, but within us, as part of God's family, we can say, oh, daddy. Let's all say that together. Oh, daddy. You know, your father is your daddy. You know, I'll tell you this, from a father's perspective, fathers like to hear daddy better than father. You know, my son is 5, and for some reason he started calling me dad. You know, he stopped calling me daddy, and he started calling me dad. From my perspective, what do I like better? Of course, I like daddy. You know, I don't want him to be like some aloof teenager. Oh, daddy. So this is the spirit that we have received in our hearts when we cry, Abba, Father. Let's say that together 2 times. Abba, Father. Abba, Father. Abba, Father. This makes the Father very happy. Now, not only do we have this wonderful relationship with the Father, but we have brothers and sisters. Amen. Now, I said this message was not going to be so deep, but it's very sweet. And aren't you glad that you're surrounded with brothers and sisters? I have this verse here on John 20, in John 20, verse 17. Let's read that all together. Ready? Jesus said to her, do not touch me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I ascend to my Father and your Father, and my God and your God. This is the morning of his resurrection. Up until John 20, the most intimate term the Lord had used to refer to his disciples, do you know what the word was? Friends. 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 That's the most intimate term. Oh, you're my friend. But because he passed through death and entered into resurrection, and according to 1 Peter 1:3, through his resurrection, we were all regenerated. On the morning of his resurrection, he could refer to us all as brothers and sisters. Amen. And so the Lord is very happy here. He's telling Mary, go to my brothers. Amen. My brothers. Isn't it a joy when you're walking around campus amidst the sea of faces to see a brother or sister there? It's hard to put into words the joy when we see one another, a fellow believer in the Lord.